I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from the Low Self-Esteem Reading Room, aka Loser, a deliberately non-linear, genre-defying text that explores feminine, gatherer as opposed to hunter, holistic as opposed to specialized and goal-oriented life experience. If you have nothing to lose, but also nothing to gain because you will never matter, your life becomes open for experimentation. You can write, sing, act, draw, dance, knowing none of it matters. In doing so, you realize that achievement is chimera. The women, slaves, and exploited. These people are never counted among heroes, yet without them, the heroes don't exist. Heroes are thieves, don't be a hero. That's from the foreword. Last week, Naomi from Kara's book appeared to the old woman, and Kyle vowed to finish his book without his brother Stuart's help. So that's the end of the book, but then there's part two, but I'm not sure if you would call it a part two. In my mind, it would just say, darlings I cannot kill, and then it would be the rest of these things. Darlings I cannot kill. Royal blue. Royalty, you should know, does not mean freedom. It may mean privilege relative to the working class, but for your average royal woman, it means an arranged marriage to grow the influence of her father's and son's empire. It means breeding like a queen bee, producing the right heir. I wonder if queen bees are captive in their hives. Why is captivity so central to natural activity? Captivity, torture, deprivation, enforced fattening, enforced health, all for the breeding and eaten. Base functions. I wonder if the queen bee longs to leave the hive. Wouldn't you want to visit flowers, exercise your wings, and develop strength? Feel the burn that athletes do when their muscles are strengthening and lengthening? Wouldn't you want to see sunlight and experience adventure? I bet if we could follow bee history, we'd read about truant queens, ones who couldn't accept their station and flew off, perhaps to start new colonies, perhaps to breed with a different kind of bee, mutating and keeping the bee species alive. Would the truant queen kill her new foreign lover? Would he have to kill himself? Why do the queen's lovers die? Does she impart some sort of suicide chemical, or do they lose something, a chemical, a body part, after the act? Do men lose something when they fall in love? Do they lose their drive, or does it become channeled into making their ladies happy and comfortable so they can plant their seeds and grow their children? Are men flesh farmers to some extent? Is farming just an outgrowth of natural masculine urges? Are women flowers, drawing the humans, bees, and other animals towards them to create better conditions for them and their young to prosper, flaunting their health and beauty, pushing, pushing their evolutionary aids to plant gardens, build houses, and bring them seeds from 3 tribes over, pushing through intoxicating, sweet-smelling pheromones, driving men to distraction, subservience that is suicidal? Do female suicide bombers exist? Green. Green is the color of my love. I'm an alien, you see, and my blood is green. I'm an alien, you see, under the sea, seeing blood, but the blood is green. Green is the blood of my fallen comrades. Green is the blood of my mother, the earth. Green is the blood of a plant. Green is the blood of a dying poem. Green is the blood of a goat in a fairy tale told in a manner we cannot even imagine, in a language that the expressor would call something we don't have a word for. And since I'm the only one who has ever felt this communication, my sharing of it with you is rough and not working all that well. Green, green is the color of a fairy tale inside a goat's blood. Tiny stories, tiny tragedies moving rapidly through the rivulets of a goat's heart. Tragedies with happy endings. Happy, yes, like an illicit massage, and happy, yes, like a fairy tale. Only this fairy tale does not end with the rescue of a woman by a man or a child by a parent. What is this story? What is this bizarre world, and why am I so happy? Green is the color of my ink. It's not. And why do I even compute of ink? Would you be surprised to know that this story is optical character recognition? I'm actually singing a Justin Bieber song. I use this attachment. I got it off eBay from some woman in Nigeria, she says. I sent her $5 US for it. It goes between my smartphone that I use as a voice recorder and my Ubuntu laptop. There is no Windows or Mac OS version. She has many attachments in her store. I'm going to collect them all. They are not supposed to be used with Justin Bieber songs. Let me start again. A tan gradient that starts a pale cream color and moves through pastel reddish brown tones, though never becomes dark enough to be called brown. In the womb of my sad, abandoned mother, my soul was imprinted with fear. If I were a character in Den Coil, I'd walk around recreating a bubble around myself with every step I took. Recreating, recreating, recreating. No children, no human fractals going forward, just a bubble. It would absolve me for not bearing children, this bubble. Be a fractal in a dimension outside human being. I need to believe I'm visionary. I need to believe that what I see in my mind is not the result of my past, but given me by a cosmic consciousness that knows neither time nor space. Wait. I need to believe that I'm blessed and special, not damaged, but otherwise ordinary. Wait. I need to believe that I'm special and blessed, and that I've been given the secret to turn pain into filigree, gossamer, transparent but not entirely transparent, intricate and well-balanced lattice work on a bubble that I keep recreating, and that I'm forgiven. Pink streaked with blue. I lost myself. Not sure where it went. Is it buried inside me still, hidden beneath clutter and imperfection? I lie for hours doing nothing, having idle conversation, where my partner and I pretend we are innocent and unworldly, but opinionated and filled with faith in our own intelligence. It's funny, I suppose, but this game of being children is, I don't think my partner will ever tire of it. Perhaps because he's expected to be a man and desires a break from that responsibility, while I, as a woman, am expected to, what's the word? Squander. I must always be ready to bow my head and back away from responsibility, like a child. I must keep the fire of responsibility burning, but be ready to not acquiesce, not submit. A man takes responsibility while a woman seeds. A woman cedes responsibility if a man wants it. She takes responsibility if asked to do so by a man, but gives it back to him if he wants it. I tire of play acting, youth, and naivete. So the seedling uncurls in my soul, still shrouded in darkness. It's Christmas, darkest time of the year. It's always darkest before the light. I'm on a plane, which is not the best place for writing. My favorite place is in bed, propped up on pillows, in the dark. Yes, earplugs in for music or deep, snow-covered silence. Fields stretched out for miles under sparkling white, undisturbed by skidoos, toboggans, or feet, unless they are tiny, three-pronged feet. Night sky, filled with twinkling, distant stars. This is the kind of silence I like. Clear, virgin, and isolated. Waiting for myself and siblings to destroy with toys, curiosity, and laughter. There was a time, just before Valentine's Day, when I was in my dad's workshop, probably getting a shovel to clear snow from a walkway or in front of the garage. Dad motioned for me to follow him to his workbench, where, from an old, oil-covered drawer filled with junk, he pulled a silver box. He opened it. I saw a gold charm that said, "I love you." Dad meant well, both in showing me the charm and in buying it for my mom, but she so rarely appreciated his gifts. She didn't want his love, but felt she couldn't say no. Religion. I didn't know what to say. The box came from the jewelry store in town, not from the city. Every aspect of this present conspired to make it a disaster. My dad's shyness, his inability to get into the city and buy her something more unique and perhaps expensive. The fact that the charm said, "I love you." Dad didn't understand how much she hated him. Or maybe he did. I mean, we all knew that he loved her madly, but that she, if she didn't totally hate him, despised him for bringing her back to the farm, away from the city and a social life. I wanted to hug my father, but I couldn't. I was 13, too old for physical contact with my dad. That's all I remember about the charm and that Valentine's Day. I know I ransacked Mom's jewelry box many times as a teenager. Hell, I have some of her jewelry with me 20 years later. She's never asked about it. I wonder if she ever missed those pieces.